The seventh of the O antiphons. O Emmanuel, our King and Lawgiver, the expectation of all nations and their salvation, come and save us, O Lord our God. If you've been with us during the midweek services, you know that we've been looking at the 7 names of Jesus used in that hymn, O come, Emmanuel. And back in the first midweek service, I told you that when we started this, that eventually on that 4th Sunday weekend of Advent, I would reveal a surprise to you. And the surprise is taken from the Latin names of Jesus, which is why I every week insisted that you hear the Latin as well. So if you look at your bulletin, you can see the 7 names of Jesus, starting from the first one was Sapientia, Adonai, Radex Jesse, Clavis David, Oriens, Rex Gentium, and finally today, Emmanuel. Now, here's the surprise. Take the first letter of each name, starting from Emmanuel today, and going backwards to Sapientia, wisdom, and you have a Latin word that says ero cras. And what that means is tomorrow I will come. The building of these names of Jesus into this acronym shows us how intently the church was watching for Jesus' return. And especially during the season of Advent, they watched excitedly because it seemed so probable that surely this year he would be here. Tomorrow I will come. And that last antiphon, Emmanuel. With us is God. We say God with us, but with us is God. That would be what the people of God would be shouting from the streets when Jesus finally returned. After all the waiting and all the praying and all the enduring of the mocking and the scoffing of unbelievers, finally we will be able to run through the streets shouting, "With us is God. Tomorrow I will come," he says to us. But tomorrow does not seem to mean to Jesus what it means to us. When my family moved to Arizona, my father had a very rude awakening. He worked as a chemist in the copper mines, and he oversaw a number of laborers who would carry ore samples in and out of his lab as he needed them. Most of these laborers, if not all of them, were Mexican, and back in the 70s, most of their citizenship was pretty questionable, and their English wasn't very good either. And my father had never encountered this culture before. He was a World War II naval officer, and he was from the northeast of the United States, and he had some very definite opinions about time. I mean, for him, being on time was late. And being early was being on time, and being late was just inexcusable. Best not even go. Well, his Mexican crew had a new word for him to learn. And that new word was mañana. Mañana. Literally in Spanish, it means tomorrow. But that's not really what they mean by that word. It really can mean just about any time, sometime in the future, but definitely not now. And so the conversation would go all the time something like this. Hector, when are you going to bring me that ore pallet that I asked for last week? Mañana, Senor Rogers, mañana. Apparently Hector did not have the same need for punctuality as my father did. And working with Hector and his crew just about drove him over the edge. But it was good for him. And he learned not to be quite as much of a slave to the clock and the calendar. He never really got over it. But at least he got to the point where he no longer pitched a royal fit if dinner was at 6 instead of 5:30. See, when we speak of time as human beings, we see different understandings in different cultures. I mean, some cultures understand time only in terms of hours and minutes. Some cultures understand the passage of time really more with regard to seasons. Some generations. But regardless of how any of us see time, none of us was really prepared for tomorrow being more than 2,000 years away. And since we're all gathered here today, just in case you missed it, the Mayans were wrong. Stupid Mayans. I was so disappointed when I woke up. I wasn't with Jesus. Yeah, we're still waiting for him to get here. But perhaps that for which we wait is already here. While Jesus has not yet returned to take us to paradise yet, he is certainly with us. Christianity celebrates both the now and the not yet. I mean, obviously, the complete fulfillment of salvation is not yet with us, right? That's the day of the resurrection. Just the other week, I was reminding a teacher that students have youth, but we have wisdom. And wisdom always trumps youth. And she said back to me, yeah, I just wish we could have both at the same time. And I said, don't we all? That's what they call paradise. And I got to thinking about it, and I thought about all the times that I wish for paradise. I mean, I wish that I could eat whatever I wanted and not weigh 350 pounds. That's paradise. I wish that I could have the energy for doing everything I want to do and still feel great. That's paradise. I wish I could let go of my hurt and my anger and just enjoy everything in the world. All that stuff is paradise. It's why we so eagerly look forward to his coming. But that's the not yet. He is with us already, though. He lives in his word. He lives in the water. He lives in the body and blood. And we gather here today to be with him in the best way that we can while still on this earth. Let me be perfectly clear. God is not at Soldier Field. God is not on a mountaintop. God is now not out on the lake on a sailboat or any of the places people like to go for relaxation and recreation and claim that they are closer to God. If people are receiving his body and blood, remembering their baptisms and hearing his word in some dirty alley on the south side, God is far more present with them than he is out on Lake Michigan with a bunch of people nursing Bloody Marys trying to overcome a hangover and remember what it was exactly they did last night. So don't justify skipping worship to commune with God someplace else. God is present where his word is proclaimed, where the sacraments are administered, and whether that's in prison or in a church or on a sailboat or in a camp. But the key is word and sacrament, not warm, mushy feelings caused by scenery and vodka. And he is here with us tonight. He has come. He's come to help save us from despairing as we await for his return. Because you and I, we don't live a life that's separate from our life with him, as though we live now on our own and at some future time he'll live with us. He's with us right now. And tomorrow, he will come. He is with us in the water, and in the word, and in the bread and the wine. And tomorrow, whenever tomorrow is, he will come. And he will take us to be with him. Mañana, Señor. Mañana.